What's happening, bass players? Ryan here from BassMatter.com, taking you through the core bass learning program. And in this lesson, we're going to make sense of timing. We're going to talk about quarter notes and half notes and time signatures, legato and staccato, and so much more. Let's jump in. Let's take a look at time signatures and values of notes duration. This is important because you're going to hear it a lot out there in the playing world. Play eighth notes there. We're going to be in the key. We're going to be in 4/4 time. We're going to play 16th notes at the bridge and then go back to eighth notes for the chorus. These are the terms and the types of communication you're going to hear often and a lot when you're working with bandmates or you're getting videos like this. So let's make sure that we understand what these note value durations mean. Go to the website, grab the timing chart, which is going to be a visual representation of the note duration values. Also make sure that you grab the basic theory chart because it's going to list out the note duration values at the bottom of that page, and we're going to start referencing those a lot. Also, you're going to want to get a metronome. There's a bunch of free ones that you can get for iPads, for smartphones, for tablets, free ones online. Go to your local music store and see if you can pick up a metronome. They are great tools to help you learn division and subdividing notation as far as duration is concerned for songs. It's a great way to help you learn how to count these things. Moving on. First of all, I've got my metronome set to 60 beats per minute, and it sounds like this. Now, if it's 60 beats per minute, how many beats per minute are we going to have? Well, 60 of them, which means that these clicks right now is happening one every second. You can have a beat per minute count go faster or go slower for a song. It doesn't really matter, but beats per minute is a common question that you're going to ask of how fast or how slow we're playing this song. And the more beats per minute, the faster you're probably going to be playing, or the more you're going to be counting in your head, letting beats go by. Let's move on. Whole notes. Time signatures. So at the beginning of a body of work, of a body of music, you typically see a fractional number, okay? 4/4, 6/8. What the heck does that mean? Well, what we're being told is how many beats per measure we have for the song. So if we see 4/4, it means that we have 4 quarter notes in every measure of the body of work unless the time signature changes somewhere in the song, which also can happen. If we saw 6/8, it means that every measure is going to have 6/8 notes in there. That's going to be throughout the body of music as well. And you don't have to play 6/8 notes each measure. It just means that all of the math needs to add up to be able to have that particular duration for each measure. Now, 4/4 is the most common time signature out there because it's very symmetrical. We feel a consistent flow through the music, and we don't have any abruptions as far as a quick change of a da-da-ba, da-da-da-da, something going back and forth. It flows very well and very comfortably. So, on our basic theory chart, we've got our notes across the bottom as far as the duration. Let's take a look at those. The first one's a whole note. Now, a whole note gets an entire measure's worth of beats for one note that you're playing. So let's hypothetically say we're in the time signature of 4/4, which means that if you see a whole note, it's going to encompass all of the time duration of notes for that one measure. If I have my metronome going, assuming that this is in 4/4 time, and I count these as quarter notes, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. My whole note is going to be for each one of these, okay? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what I'm doing there also, here's another term for you. I am playing legato style, which means I'm allowing the note to resonate all the way into the next time that I play. The opposite of that is what's called staccato, which means I am shortening the duration of the note's sustain and the remainder of the time value of that note duration is going to be silent until I play again. Let me play this again in a staccato fashion, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not going to be uncommon for you to be able to switch from staccato to legato playing throughout your playing often. So that's something you're going to want to practice. Moving on, half notes. Now half notes get half of the value of the measure, and in 4/4 time it would be 2 quarter notes. Assuming my metronome is quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter notes, okay? I guess I should let that go on. Quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now I'm going to let these go into a staccato fashion, okay? Hear the absence of the sustain from one note to the next? There's a bit of silence there, okay? Now, eighth notes. Now, eighth notes is something you're going to want to practice. This is a big deal because bass players need to flex from eighth notes to quarter notes or 16th notes. Often, in most genres of music, it is not uncommon for you to have to flex from eighth notes to 16th notes to whole notes quickly and being able to do all the math in your head really on the spot and on the fly. So on your time chart, as you see across the top, there's the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and broken down in between there are individual peaks and valleys of the different note values. So eighth notes are the second tallest line, and those have a little abbreviated word for and underneath them, okay? So if I'm counting this here as 1, 2, 3, 4, there's an and that's right in the middle. How do we count that in our heads? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let me play quarter notes first and then play eighth notes, okay? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Staccato. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? Those are our eighth notes. Now 16th notes really speed things up really quick because now we have to get 4 notes that we're actually plucking in between the numbers across the top of that chart. So 16th notes are a great way for you to be able to start building up some chops right away, okay? So let me do eighth notes first and then I'll do 16th notes, okay? So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 16th notes. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, okay? Now, 16th notes can be tough and eighth notes can be tough because you're playing not on a click. You don't have something that's indicating where you are. And there's a lot of opinions about metronomes out there, which we'll be talking about later, the great metronome debate, but make sure you check out that video. But metronomes are a tool, in my opinion. They are great for you to be able to learn how to subdivide mathematically and start feeling the math in your head and start feeling how things work. So, a couple of challenges for you guys, okay? Go to the website, also get the chops burner chart. This is a chart for you to be able to go through as often as you'd like to document how fast and how slow you can play eighth notes, triplets, and slap and pop. And we'll do triplets and slap and pop later, but the first column there of eighth notes is a way for you to practice going really fast with eighth notes and also how slow you can do eighth notes. And the slower you practice is going to be a way that you start to really develop a strong sense of internal time. So practicing slow with a metronome is going to require you to start feeling where things are in the music more, which in the end, you want to be able to have strong internal time and not at all relying on a metronome to identify a strong sense of time and rhythm for you. Now the chops burner chart is a way for you to practice how fast and how slow you're going, and your chops is by far a big perishable skill that we have as musicians. We use it or lose it. If we don't continue to maintain and develop faster and slower speeds, it's something that we will lose. We will not be able to go as fast as we did a month ago if we haven't been working on our maintenance and our speed there, okay? So it's a great way for you to be accountable. Write down, practice on putting in one thing a week of how fast you could play eighth notes and how slow you could play eighth notes. One of the goals that I have set for you right away is being able to play eighth notes at 120 beats per minute. Now, why is 120 beats per minute the number? 120 beats per minute is one of the most popular average speeds of beats per minute that songs are played at. And here it is, okay? It may sound fast, but if I just do quarter notes here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and get my eighth notes going, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's not that fast, but I'd like for you to work on getting that speed up to 120 beats per minute. If you can already do that, the next level, if you get to, is about 200 beats per minute doing eighth notes, which is pretty fast, and it's unlikely you're going to be there for too long, but some genres of music need you to go there. And if you can do 200 beats per minute eighth notes regularly, then you're not ever going to have a problem keeping time and playing eighth notes at the average of 120 beats per minute for most music out there that we listen to. Guys, this was a crash course on timing today and understanding the note values, okay? So make sure you go through this video again if you need to, as many times as possible, to start getting an idea of how to communicate about note duration values and the staccato and the legato form, being able to practice playing things at certain tempos, and you can even take your major scale and you can practice playing that going up. Da 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 da. The eighth notes. Okay, you can really start working on getting eighth notes and 16th notes and shifting between the two and going back to whole notes and playing it. And a metronome is a great tool for that, guys. This lesson was a lot of fun. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of questions about this. We're going to cover more on advanced timing later, okay? So make sure you stay tuned for those lessons coming right around the corner. Guys, this is Ryan here from BassMatter.com signing off. Find us online, guys. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. Subscribe to this channel. Lots of great continued info coming out here, guys. This is Ryan signing off from BassMatter. We'll see you guys at the next lesson.